Thorfinn and Gudrid are officially married as of chapter 166 of Vinland Saga, and they have adopted best boy Kali and become a family. This may have come as a surprise to those of you who weren't spoiled by googling historical documents like I was. But the foreshadowing and teasing of a potential Thorfinn and Gudrid relationship was there from the beginning. Thorfinn is the one who initially offers Gudrid a place in the party, which does make her blush all the way back in the Flooded Turn chapters. Gudrid has also always been very protective of Thorfinn. She always stood up for him against people like Hild. But when her attraction to Thorfinn was confirmed by the narrative by way of admission to Thorkel at the end of the Baltic Sea War arc, it seemed like the start of a brand new character arc for both her and Thorfinn as they learned how to be with each other, only for Yukimura to use a time skip and cuck us all. I was one of the people most angered that we really didn't ever get to see this relationship develop. Most people were mad about not seeing Greece for whatever reason, and I was over here mad that all of a sudden we are supposed to just accept that Thorfinn and Gudrid fell in love with each other and became a collective family with Kali off screen. I felt like this was poor writing on Yukimura's part, and I'd like to analyse why this happened and what could have been. I think the root cause of this hesitation to write a relationship arc with Thorfinn and Gudrid has to do with Vinland Saga's surviving identity issues. Vinland Saga was originally a weekly shonen series that became a monthly seinen series as the series progressed. The shonen heart of the series shines through in many key elements of Vinland Saga, namely it shows thematically, with one of the core themes of the series being pacifism. Now the pacifistic angle of Vinland Saga does work, because it juxtaposes nearly everything else in the seinen genre, since seinen series tend to lean more nihilistically thematically, and Vinland Saga doesn't. But the conceit of the series being a demonstration of pacifism is definitely a more shonen element of the series shining through. This is one regard where the oddly shonen approach to this seinen series works, but one shonen element that Vinland Saga has maintained that disappoints me is the way it writes relationships. In Naruto and Hinata's relationship is teased literally the second we are introduced to Hinata, and eventually they do end up together, but we never see that relationship grow. We never get any indication to why Naruto likes Hinata. We barely ever even get to see them interact or talk about anything personal to them or their relationship. Whenever they talk, it's usually just about the plot, and even when supposed big moments happen in their relationship, like the moment they had after Neji died, it's got nothing to do with their actual relationship. Eventually, the author just skips forward in time and we are supposed to just accept that they learn to love each other off screen. Just like what's done with Thorfinn and Gudrid here. It's a far cry from some other anime relationships. I know the Vinland Saga fans aren't going to like the next comparison I go for, but Thorfinn and Gudrid's relationship is a far cry from Guts and Casca's. I wish Thorfinn and Gudrid's relationship was much more like Guts and Casca's rather than Naruto and Hinata's. It's no secret I'm a massive fan of Guts and Casca's relationship and how it develops in the Golden Age arc. I made an entire video on their sex scene. Everything about their relationship is just so well handled in Berserk, and I desperately want Vinland Saga to be as good as Berserk, so I think that this comparison is earned. Guts and Casca's relationship is a demonstration of how you can tease two characters liking each other, have them have actual character interactions, and then go all the way and show them having sex without it just becoming porn. Both Guts and Casca's character arcs come to a climax in their sex scene, ironically enough. And it works. It works from a character and a narrative standpoint, achieving in both areas. We know and see everything that happens and everything about their relationship. We know what they are like around each other, we know how they hurt each other, we know how they annoy each other, we know how vulnerable they make each other, and we know how they act sexually around each other. With Gudrid and Thorfinn, we know next to nothing. We know them both very well separately, but we don't know how they interact with each other in a relationship setting. And the major tragedy in all of this is that everything that we have gotten between Gudrid and Thorfinn that has been in any way intimate has been great. The reveal when Gudrid tells Thorkel that she likes Thorfinn is one of the best moments in the entire manga. It's so cute and feisty, which fits Gudrid perfectly. She's actively asking Thorkel to talk shit, and sure, she is embarrassed slightly, but she doesn't really care because she's being honest. Seeing her like this is interesting, and it's a side of her we haven't explored yet. Just like earlier in the Baltic Sea War arc when Thorfinn came to rescue Gudrid and gives her a hug and she freaks out. It's another cute moment and another great panel that again shows something interesting and unseen about Gudrid. And then finally, most recently in chapter 167, there's another great scene with the two of them literally in bed together, which was a heartwarmingly intimate scene where for a minute we did get to see a side to Gudrid that seemed unfamiliar and comforting. This could have been the focal point of the arc following the Baltic Sea War arc. The conceit could have been how Thorfinn handles his first relationship. We could have actually seen an interesting new side to Thorfinn's character in a situation like this, like we got with Guts when his relationship with Karska developed. But it looks like this isn't happening because of the time skip. Even if Yukimura tries to have his cake and eat it too by somehow explaining that maybe Thorfinn and Gudrid haven't had sex yet, it'd be stupid. It'd just create a plot hole surrounding what Thorfinn and Gudrid have been doing for the past 3 years if they have been in a relationship and haven't slept with each other. Though maybe Yukimura is leaving the door open to this because there is no proof that they have ever slept together, because Gudrid is not pregnant and they don't have any biological children. But again, if they haven't, that'd be stupid. The time skip has made that impossible. So ultimately, if I had to use a phrase to describe the writing of Thorfinn and Gudrid's relationship, it would be massive missed potential. This has been your Patreon exclusive video for December, uploaded in January. If you have a suggested topic for next month, make sure to leave a comment underneath the video. Thank you for your support.